I spent 3 years telling my husband how grateful I was while he was slowly poisoning me. It started 3 years ago with headaches and fatigue that doctors couldn't explain, and by year 2, I was too weak to work, too exhausted to shower most days, and completely dependent on my husband Joel to manage everything from my medications to my finances to my meals. Last month, my doctor told me that if they couldn't figure out what was causing my symptoms soon, my organs would start shutting down within the year. Joel held my hand in that appointment and told me we would fight this together, and when I apologized for being a burden, he said taking care of me was the only thing that mattered. His family came over for Sunday dinner when his sister Megan walked into the kitchen and saw my pill organizer sitting on the counter. She picked it up because she's a nurse and can never just ignore medications without checking them. Her face changed, and she asked me where I got my prescriptions filled. I told her Joel picks them up for me because I'm usually too tired to leave the house. She looked at the pills again, then looked at Joel and said, "These aren't the right pills, and some of these capsules have been opened and tampered with." Joel started laughing nervously and said, "Megan, you're overreacting. Pharmacies switch manufacturers all the time, and pills look different depending on where they come from." But his sister ignored him and pulled out her phone to scan one of the pills through a medical identification app. When it finished loading, Megan looked at me with an expression I'll never forget. She said these pills weren't just wrong, they were actively toxic and would cause slow organ deterioration with extended use. I felt the room spin. Joel put his hands up and said, "There has to be some kind of mistake at the pharmacy. I'll call them first thing in the morning." I grabbed his phone off the counter and told him to shut up. He reached for it and said, "Babe, you're being paranoid. Megan scared you over nothing. Just give me my phone back." His father stepped between us. I went straight to his email and found bank transfer confirmations for accounts I'd never heard of, totaling over $90,000 across the past 2 years, all coming from my disability payments. Joel's voice cracked and he said, "I can explain that. I was moving money around to pay for your medical bills and I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to stress." Megan grabbed his laptop from the hallway and started searching through his files while I kept reading emails, and that's when she found the life insurance policy. She turned the screen toward me and I saw my own signature on a policy I had never signed, made out for $750,000 with Joel as the sole beneficiary. Joel was crying now and he said, "The insurance was just a precaution because we didn't know how much time you had left, and I wanted to make sure I could afford the funeral and the medical debt. I was trying to protect us." His dad told him to stop talking. Megan kept digging and found his search history, and I watched her face shift from shock to fury as she read the terms out loud. Slow-acting poisons, undetectable causes of organ failure, how to mimic autoimmune disorders. Joel started sobbing and said, "That's not what it looks like. I was researching what might be wrong with you because the doctors couldn't figure it out. I was trying to help." Then Megan read the final search from less than a week ago. "What is a fatal dosage without being detectable?" His mother walked toward him slowly, and for a moment I thought she was going to comfort him. Instead, she slapped him across the face so hard his head snapped sideways. She said, "I spent 3 years praying for her to get better. I lit candles at church every single Sunday, and you were poisoning her?" Joel's father grabbed him by the back of the neck and shoved him toward the wall. Joel tried to break free and said, "Dad, please, you don't understand. I was drowning in debt and I didn't know what else to do." Megan was already on the phone with 911 and Joel started panicking, begging her to hang up, saying they could work this out as a family. I finally found my voice and asked him the only question that mattered. How long did he think he could keep doing this before I actually died? Joel looked at me and something shifted behind his eyes, like a mask slipping off. He stopped crying. His voice went flat and cold and he said, "Honestly, I thought you'd be dead by now. You were a lot stronger than I expected." His mother screamed and his father threw him to the ground. Joel tried to crawl toward the back door and his father put a knee on his spine and pinned him to the hardwood until the police arrived. I spent 3 days in the hospital while doctors flushed the toxins from my system, and my new doctor told me the damage to my organs was severe but not permanent. If I had kept taking those pills for another few weeks, I wouldn't have survived.